Hello, gentlemen. It's your boy Ace from AceMadden.com yet again. And are you struggling versus man coverage? If so, I have just the solution for you. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first method we can utilize to beating man coverage is going to be motion routes, and not the actual motions that you guys can do on any given play. I'm talking about the baked in motion routes. So if you look at the play below, FL Drive, we have a motion drag, and this is going to be a really good way for beating man coverage. So I'm in gun box. This is the Tampa Bay Bucks playbook. This is the playbook I currently use. But if your playbook has any kind of motion route like this, you can use that as well. And like I said, this is just the first of multiple methods that we'll be covering in this video. So let's go ahead and just run like a cover zero. And all I want you to do is, I'm playing off coverage on man right now. I'll press in a second, but just watch the motion drag. You're going to see he gets a speed boost and he's going to get separation. So you might be looking at it and like, Ace, I don't want to throw this little 5-yard check down. Like, this does nothing for me. I'm not going to win a game doing this. The point is, it's kind of eye candy. It does get separation and it is throwable, but then you want to have other routes that can beat man coverage, at least one other route. So in this case, I have this out route from Mike Evans. So let's go ahead and look at it. Assume the user covers the drag, and then you're going to have this out route. So you need one other route on the field that you feel is capable of beating man coverage. On my site, I'm going to post a full list of routes that beat man coverage most of the time, beat man coverage sometimes, and pretty much never beat man coverage. So if you guys want like a quick little reference sheet as to what can beat man, like I said, I have that on acemadden.com. I'm going to put it in the description, and any of you guys can look at that whenever you want. Let's run it again. I got bumped there. I got bumped late. It's like actually illegal contact, but it's practice mode. So run it again. I'm going to block my running back, give myself a little bit of extra time here. So you see how we didn't get nearly as much separation that time, but he's going to get separation. So run it again. I'll use skill-based passing this time. Boom. And there you go. And I think the, let me go ahead and press. I think this post can beat man coverage sometimes. Let's do it again. So as you can see, this post is going to beat press man a lot. Do it again. There's your motion drag, wide open. So that is your first method. It's going to be utilizing motion routes and then kind of building around that motion route, or even throwing to that motion route. Okay, so the second method is going to be using formations that are really hard to press. And throughout the years, tight formations have been notorious for being hard to press, because there's two guys, for instance, if you look at this formation, that just aren't on the line of scrimmage and they're kind of in a stack with the other receiver. So it's really hard to press those guys usually. And then for some reason, it's hard to press the guys who are on the line of scrimmage, which I have no idea why that's the case, but it's been that way for years. When I used tight doubles a couple years ago exclusively, that was the case. It was hard to press any of them. All four guys got free releases most of the time. So gun tight or tight offset, gun tight doubles, all of those are really good this year for beating man press, because it's hard to get the press animation. So let's go ahead and talk about gun tight, which I'm still in the Bucks playbook. If you guys are in this playbook with me, it also has a tight doubles. But let's go ahead and go to gun tight. And then this is one of my favorite plays of all time, gun post. Or sorry, not gun post, Bucks post. It's insanely good. And we're going to flip the formation so our wide receiver is running this post. And then let's go ahead and run a cover one, and I'm going to press. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to snap the ball, and I want you guys to look across the board at the receivers. What happens? You get one guy who gets pressed, and then everybody else gets free releases. Let's take a look. From left to right, we have Julio on his return route, gets a free release. Running back is obviously going to get a free release. He can't get pressed in the backfield. And then this wide receiver on his post, he does not get pressed. I think if you shade underneath, he might get kind of pressed, but that'd be really bad versus this post, honestly. So do not shade underneath. And then the tight end, he gets a free release because He's not actually, doesn't have a defender over him, but he doesn't really get pressed either. And then this guy here, he does get pressed. And then just look how long it takes to get into his route, and he's not going to get open. So what is our solution here? Well, honestly, only one guy getting pressed isn't that big of a deal, but if you want to make it so none of them get pressed, all you do is you motion this guy out. So let's go ahead and do it like this. Then you're going to see he doesn't get open, and yes, you're going to have to make the read, because if he's on this route, he's not going to beat man coverage every single time. But the point is, if you look at it, you're going to see he gets a free release, and now we have options with him. So for instance, one of the route combos that I would use is I'd put him on a slant, block my running back, and then this is a really good man-beating concept, which I'll show you. Motion him out, snap right about here. And then what you're going to see is we have 3 routes that can beat man coverage. You have your post, you have your motion slant, and then you also have your return route. The closest one to 100% is going to be this post. So let's do it again. So we're going to see this time we get a lot more separation on this slant. But what you're seeing in the middle of the field is, since we're blocking the running back, what's happening is there's a guy staying in to kind of muddy up. There's technically 2 guys that are just kind of standing there lurking. But you see how this post just gets wide open. Post is wide open. If you have a faster tight end as well, like this Kyle Rudolph is slow as hell, and he just isn't clearing enough space for this post. If you have a Parham and Mutt or something, good Lord, he is going to do work at this spot. But yeah, these other routes, they're just getting wide open. Do it one more time just to show you it's not a fluke. Do it again. Okay, that guy just completely destroyed my left tackle. Holy crap. Do it again. And then I'll show you a couple other things you can do out of tight before I move on. And there you go. So a couple other things you can do out of tight is you can use really good man-beating routes like zigs, for instance, which will help you hopefully get more separate. I think the zig from this outside receiver over here won't get pressed. Let me take a look. No, he does get pressed actually. Okay, I don't know what this guy is on right now. He definitely like snorted some pre-workout or something, because he is just on one. Let me see. Okay, he's not even getting blocked. And I have a blocked running back on that side. What the hell, bro? Is this like, maybe is it because I'm usering him? Let me get off this, dude. All right. So let's go ahead and try to get this guy open. So I'm going to actually zig route, for instance, X. Actually, let's do this a little differently. Let's do a zig route on A, the tight end. And then we'll leave it like this. So you're going to see Kyle Rudolph, slow as hell. He's still going to get wide open. Like, legit doesn't get more open. And he has no speed. It's because he's not getting pressed. Zigs without press and no shade underneath are going to get separation a large majority of the time. And this can happen, like I said, from really any of these positions that aren't bumpable. So we've seen that B is bumpable. So let's go ahead and run Mike Evans on a zig. You're going to see tons of separation. And like I said, if they start shading underneath, which we'll take a look at real quick. Shade underneath. So press, shade underneath. Do the same thing. You're going to see now he does get pressed, but it doesn't matter. He's still going to get open. And plus shading underneath, if you guys want to know a good counter to that this year, shade underneath is actually really kind of wild. Let's take a look at this real quick. Just an extra bonus before I move on to the next part. Let's go ahead and put this guy in a zig, streak. So shade underneath, look what happens. Look at this. The outside cornerback, or it doesn't matter what cornerback or whatever guy's in man coverage, they all kind of bite down like it's a run commit. So look at this. He shades down to play like the underneath routes, and then he's like, oh crap, I'm beat, and he starts playing trail, but he's beat way too badly. So if you guys are shading underneath with man coverage, just keep in mind this is possible. just by throwing a streak. It's going to be just wide open. It makes your defenders play trail, but like it overcommits. So really only do this if you know what they're doing, like 100%. Otherwise, you're just risking yourself. All right, boys, let's talk about the final method. Now, before I do that, I want to let you guys know that I do have multiple ways of beating man coverage that aren't included in this video. And if you'd like to see those, please drop a like. Let's get this video to 200 likes, and I will post that as soon as possible because I know you guys need it. You guys are probably seeing man coverage every single snap, and you want multiple ways to beat it, and I completely understand. So 200 likes, and I will drop that video as soon as possible. So let's get into the final method, which is a kind of obvious one, but it needs to be said. Go through your playbook, whatever playbook you're in, and find the routes that separate versus man. You have to take the time to do it right now because you need to mix in as many man beaters as you possibly can. So for instance, I'm in the Tampa playbook. Single back wing stack has a play called PA dig that's absolutely insane versus man coverage. So let's go ahead and run it, and I'll show you. So we're just going to leave the play stock. Now, Kyle Rudolph is running a sharp corner route, and if it's a better tight end, he's actually going to get separation. So kind of ignore that for now. You're going to see he gets kind of boxed right here. But I promise you, if it's a better tight end, he's getting separation. But he's not even the money route. You want to see the money route? Let's snap it. The money route is this S post is going to absolutely torch man coverage. And it doesn't matter that it's Chris Godwin has slot-o-matic. This is going to happen regardless. So if they run a cover zero, this play is insane to beat cover zero. And really, all four routes have good potential to beat man coverage. So let's look at the other routes. We have like this kind of interesting looking dig, like the outside release dig. Right here, the running back underneath is kind of on a out route off the play action. But the two routes that will beat man coverage most often, the tight end corner route if you have a decent tight end, and this S post. Both of them are going to be really good every single time. And your playbook probably has something like this in it. So make sure you look around. It's very important for you guys to find that kind of stuff because you might play an opponent that's giving you a hard time and you want to get him out of what's making him comfortable. So if you're playing somebody in, for instance, using the 3-3 looping blitz and you can't pass out of your shotgun formation, you know, going under center and giving him the threat of the run that he can't shoot, like halfback dive, and then plus that PA dig, like it changes things. It can make him adjust out of it, and it just makes you more comfortable. In this man meta, sometimes that's what you have to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Like I said, if you drop a like and we get to 200, I will drop more ways to beat man coverage. And as always, subscribe for more Madden 23 content. I'll be posting another video tomorrow. See you guys later.